Good afternoon, everybody. I hope everybody's having a good day so far. I'm trying to get the live chat open. Okay. So I am just going to be getting ready today. It is Veterans Day, so I am off work today. So I figured I would go ahead and do a random live. I got up later and started getting ready for the day later than normal. So my hair's wet, my makeup's not done. Let me scoot that down a little bit. But I figured we could just do like a Q&A today. If there's anything that you want to talk about. Otherwise, there's some stuff that's gone on the last couple of days with Katie Joy that I haven't talked about, that if you guys want to talk about, we can. I was kind of going to try and stay away from that for at least this live. And then just kind of see how the day goes, see where the topic brings us. Hey Della, hey Amber, hey Nick and Steph. So today, how I have everything set up is very different than normal. Typically, I have my laptop right underneath when I've used my phone. Today, my laptop's over to the side so I can actually access all my brushes. So I'm probably going to be looking down today whenever I'm reading the chat if I don't see it on my phone. Hey, Lane. How is everybody doing? It's weird to have a day off in the middle of the week. Hey, Veronica. Such an intimate group of 8. I know. It is a small group. A lot of that's probably because I didn't plan it or advertise it or anything like that, but that's okay. I wasn't really expecting it. The people who probably have my notifications on are the ones who probably have any questions. So if you guys have any questions for me today, feel free to ask them. I mean, if you ask anything that I'm not comfortable answering, I will tell you guys I'm not going to answer it. Hey, Dodie. Hey, JK Mac. It might, Veronica. I'm fine either way. However it works is fine with me. Typically just go with the flow whenever I do these. Hey, Phyllis. I'm trying to decide if I should do my eyeshadow or if I should do my face makeup first. Decisions. I'm probably just gonna do my eye makeup. So, these past few days on the internet have been interesting. So many people are covering everything that's going on. I feel like, hey Charlotte, I feel like a lot of the stuff going on with Katie and Tati have kind of like drowned out some other YouTube stuff that's been going on or social media stuff. So I'm interested to see if maybe I will how people would feel to like talk about some other drama other than Katie. Not in this live. This is more going to be like a question. If you guys have any questions for me, whether it's in relation to YouTube or if it's about me, like a personal question, like that's fine. I think it was Della who brought it up before to see if I would ever be interested in doing one. I really just hadn't thought anybody had any questions because I've been pretty open with you all. But at the same time, I know I'm not answering any question there could be when when I am talking. So I figured since I had some time today, my husband is home, but he's playing a video game that he just got. So he is distracted for right now. So I figured I would go live for a little bit while I had the opportunity, because I know some people are not in similar time zones to me, so daytime lives are easier for them, and when I'm at work, obviously I can't really do any kind of live during the day, so I figured I'd take advantage of today. Oh, Della, you watched that video? Yeah, so we'll talk about it. No, he's not playing Assassin's Creed. He has the Oculus, and he is playing a flight simulator game on his Oculus with his desktop computer he has. So he's into that. He's playing a couple of other games on the new Oculus. So he's in heaven right now. Good morning, Michelle. What video game? Right now he's playing a flight simulator. He was playing Halo there for a second. What other game? He's tried playing that really scary game where it's like you're a ghost hunter, and he hasn't been successful because he's doing it by himself. So I've watched it. It seems scary. I would recommend like watching YouTubers play it, because there's obviously gaming channels who've played it. I can't remember the name of it. It's really weird. It starts with a P, but he's been doing that, or trying to. He's tried to play that game a few times. What other games does he have on that? I mean, that's the ones that he's trying to play in relation to having it on the desktop. When you have just like the Oculus, you can play like the plank games where you like you walk off of a plank up really high on a building. He has the like the Beat Saber. Yes, JK Mark, that is the game. I'm not sure how you pronounce that. Phasmophobia, maybe that's how it's pronounced. Hey Smiley Mama, hey Pippi Lawn's talking. You had a general question, is it true that a thumbs up or a thumbs down is the same? Yeah, it does have the same benefit to a creator. Hey Dodie, he hasn't gotten the PlayStation 5. I will probably be getting that for him next week as an early Christmas present, because he wants it. And I mean, gaming consoles are expensive, so that will probably be his large gift from me this year. Large gift from me. I'm trying to make sure I didn't miss anybody who's popped into the chat. Where are you going to get the PS5? I'm not sure. Probably wherever is going to have it. I know it's been like the pre-sales sold out, so hopefully we can get it next week. You know, I say that hopefully. What's kind of funny is everyone, you didn't reserve. We tried to go and reserve too late, so we don't have one on reserve. What's kind of funny, and this may help some of you guys, if you are a gamer, you want a game and you wanted to get the new Quest, we actually went to Target, like just by happenstance. I was like, let's see if Target has it, because Target, they carry gaming consoles, but they haven't carried the Oculus before. But we had tried all the Best Buys near us. We had tried all of the Walmarts around us. We had called even like quite a few distance away to see if they had any in stock, and none had any in stock. So I was like, well, we needed stuff at Target. I said, let's check and see if the Target section has them. Sure as shit, the Target section had like 4 of the Oculus in stock. People just didn't know that Target started to carry them. So if you are looking for that gift for either a family member or you're wanting to purchase it yourself and you haven't checked Target, check your local Target. They very well may have the Oculus in stock. You didn't reserve? Yeah, we didn't either. I think I said that. I will be getting something nice as well, Dodie. We're pretty fair. I mean, we it's just us and the dogs that we are really, well, no, his family's gonna be here, so we're gonna get gifts for them. But typically, like we try to get each other gifts, and we don't do it just on Christmas. Like if we want a big gift, we maybe will purchase it a month or two, like before Black Friday. And we both are very impatient people, and we know what we're getting the other. So we typically just exchange the gift when it's purchased, and then we'll buy each other like random little stuff for Christmas Day. So the gift that I want is a new printer. Now that I'm doing all this stuff with Project Junkie, I need to have a better quality laser printer. So I have asked for that, and those are like $250 to like $500. So I will be getting a gift of equal value if anybody was worried about it. All right. Let's see, Walmart had them on sale this morning, sold out within a minute. Did they really? I mean, they're gonna go like hotcakes for right now. I'm hoping by like next week, maybe it'll slow down. It's okay, Claire, I appreciate that you're here. Hey, Jake's Baby Cakes, how are you? Thank you, Smiley Mama. Yeah, if you guys are here, hit the like button, or if you want to dislike it, that's fine too. As someone was asking earlier as a general question, do the likes to dislikes both help a creator? They do, because it counts as engagement. Hey, JJ, it counts as engagement. So YouTube, like a lot of YouTube is ran by like bots, like by AI. So, I mean, engagement's engagement. Even if they're disliking it, it just looks bad to people who get on the video and say, "Oh, it has a lot of people didn't like this video." So, it's not really going to affect the YouTuber other than to whoever clicks on it. Does that make sense? So, I missed saying Della did watch the first video that is up on the Project Junkie channel. And what I wanted to say is I appreciate it. I appreciate anybody who is subscribed to that channel and who maybe watches those videos, whether it's because you're interested or you just want to show another level of support for me. No matter what your reason is for being there, I want to just say that first video is a total mess. It's the first time I'm really trying to film not sitting down. Even when I do my nail videos, I am sitting at this desk and I just angle everything straight down. So the lighting I know is terrible. I didn't talk through that video because half of it I did in a different space of my house and the TV was on, so then you could hear what we were watching, my husband was watching Smallville, so it's not, for some reason he wanted to rewatch that whole series. But aside from potentially getting copyrighted, I just put music on and then I tried to learn how to put text into the video so you guys would know what I was doing and like walk you guys through it, because I want these videos to somewhat be educational and informational for anybody who may want to pick this up. But I just couldn't figure it out and I kept running into issues, and if the video is extremely long, it's like 40 minutes if not more. I'm not saying I want you guys to watch all those videos. We are going to learn how to shorten those by quite a bit. I'm going to really focus on learning the editing software that I have. I have Adobe Pro, the Premiere Pro, and I know it's a fantastic editing software. I just don't know how to use it. So I'm still in the process of trying to figure out how to actually edit everything and do all of that. Yeah, Dodie, look into voiceovers. The only other issue that comes with that for me is I don't have external audio. So even when I film my videos from my camera, I have a shotgun mic that came with it that I just put on top. And for my phone, it just automatically records the audio. Same thing when I go live on my laptop. So I'm in the process of it. I don't want you guys to think like every video that goes on there is going to be 40 minutes or be such a disaster. But I promised you guys a video, and I had worked on like editing that video for like 4 hours, and I finally just said F it, really, to be honest, and was like, it's done, it's together. It's not to the best quality that I could want it to be, but it shows you guys the process and what I used. So I went ahead and put it up. I will be doing a video doing some of my custom shirts. It's a really simple one. It's nothing too extravagant. I'm going to be doing that today because I need to get it to my friend tomorrow. And then my sister, who is also a part of this, she will be filming a process of one of her more intricate videos on a cup over the next couple of days. So I just wanted to give you guys an update because I'm assuming most of the people here were aware of that channel. And you may have seen the video go up, you may not have, but since it was mentioned, I did want to address it on that channel. Obviously, until you get into a certain number of subscribers, you can't put out to the community like a community tab. So I couldn't put out like, oh, hey, this video is kind of crappy. They are going to improve. So I just wanted to address it here for you guys. So I know I missed some stuff while I was chatting. It's hard to keep up with everybody when you're filming from your phone, I've noticed. Let's see. What's the price on what? On which one, Nick and Steph? On the Oculus or on the PS5? So you do gifts just because when you see something. That's super sweet, Dodie. My mom is like that. She purchases gifts almost year round for people. That is wonderful, James. It's Jake's Baby Cakes that you have a job interview on Monday. Do you want to share where your interview's at? If not, I understand. Thank you, Carrie. I appreciate that. Hey, Caroline. How are you? Yeah, the Della says the tumblers are labor and time intensive. They are. So that tumbler that I filmed, it took me 2.5 days to do that. So they are time consuming, but I enjoy doing it. I really do. That's why I offered to like start this project or go into this project with my sister-in-law. Your color printer, your color ink for your laser printer set you back $300. And it doesn't include, yeah, I know it's expensive. However, with the printing that can be done, there's some, you guys can see them on TikTok or on YouTube. There's tricks and tips on how to print things for the cups. Like, I don't know if you guys have seen the tumblers that I have one. I might go, I'm on my phone. I can't, I could yell for my husband maybe to go get it, or I could step out and go get it. My sister made me one that looks like a Michelob Ultra can, and there's tips to do that. You can do it all with vinyl, or you can, there's a cheat, so to speak, where you can actually print it from your laser printer and then put it on, it's clear, what is that paper called? That you put in gifts, gift wrapping paper. There is a hack that you print it on that, and then whenever you put it on the wet resin, the white just dissipates, so then you just have what was printed. That's how people are doing those kinds of cups quicker and more efficiently, and I want to be able to have the ability to be more efficient if people are going to be ordering cups like that. And everything that we are offering is all customizable. So we both have a good bit of supply between like the glitters that we have and the kind of vinyl that we have. So if it's something I don't have, she is likely to have it. And if she doesn't have it, I am likely to have it. And if not, we make sure that, I think the time for processing is like 6 to 7 days. So if we don't have the item or the exact color that the customer is requesting, we have enough time to purchase it and then still get the order out and shipped out in time. So thank you, Charlotte, for putting the link to the channel, and I appreciate that. It's storming. Is it like just rainstorming or is it snowstorming? You watched the video. Thank you, Charlotte. I appreciate anybody who watched it. It was a long video. I'm sorry you guys suffered through it. I tried to pick some like music to put in the background that maybe wasn't so boring. What are we removing? Did I miss something? Hey, Steph. Oh, okay. So you're gonna do office work? That's a lot of my job pertains to being in an office at times and doing a lot of paperwork. It lasts forever, but it's, yeah, that's what I've heard, that it, you know, it does last a while, but it's kind of expensive. And that's, I mean, the printer itself is expensive, so I'm not super worried about it. If it's something that, it's an investment, and hopefully, you know, as Tiffany already has a lot of customers, and we both have large reaches with where we live and our families and stuff who will place orders over the holidays. So I think we'll be fine if like investing into it will also bring back at least even amount of return. So I'm not super worried about the cost of the ink and stuff like that. I saw somebody do a review of one of the newer laser printers that came out just the other day. I can't remember which one it was. Was it an Epson printer? I don't know. It was a new printer, but like she had made already, I think she said 650 copies, and she showed her ink levels, and her ink levels were still over half. So I mean, that to me that's almost worth your money, because normal ink printers, like we have an inkjet and it's a super nice printer, but it's not going to be able to maintain what I need it to as I continue to do the work that I will be on the side. I'm assuming somebody was in here trolling or something like that. You guys are telling people to be respectful. It's okay. You're around 2 hours south of Atlanta and it's raining. Yeah. Nurse Kimberly, you have a laser printer and it's worth it. I've only heard good things about them. The reason we haven't gotten one is because we really didn't need it, to be quite honest. So I'm not really sure what the science is that makes it so different. I'm trying to find a palette, sorry. But I know that the laser printers don't go through ink as much, and I think it just has to do with the science of the ink and how the printers are built and how they actually print. So I'm not 100% sure. I've not looked into it too much. I just know that it's kind of going to be required moving forward now that I'm not just doing it for fun as people ask for stuff, but I potentially am going to be doing it, you know, every day and working on multiple cups a day. So the ink does not, Caroline says, the ink does not dry contrary to jet printers. Okay. I mean, that makes sense. So today, if you guys are curious, I'm going to be using the Soft Glam palette. We're just going to see kind of what ends up happening. I don't have anywhere really to be other than to be present for my live stream tonight for our open discussion. So I'm sure my husband and I will probably be doing lunch or something together since it is Veterans Day and he is a veteran. So we will probably do something like that. You need a laser, especially since you rarely print. Keep your desk jet if you like to do reverse print. It's a hack on print. Yeah, we're not going to get rid of our printer that we have because it's a nice, I mean, we've had it for a couple of years, but it's a really nice like office size printer. It can do everything. It can do like faxes. It can do all of that stuff. It's a pretty decent printer. We're not going to get rid of that because of the other one. I will definitely thank him for you guys. He's having a good day off as well. He actually had to work a little bit today, but he's home now and he's doing what he wants to do. I don't know if I have mentioned my husband's name, Della, and I haven't, isn't because he cares, but it's more in case anybody ever tries to go to extreme lengths. I have said what he does before, and I don't want to really have any issue with that. Not that the military is going to care. His wife does YouTube and maybe pisses off a few people, but it's kind of like a respect thing. I asked him recently because in one of my lives when we talked about suicide, I asked him if he would ever be willing to get on the channel, and he said no, not really. So I don't want to force people to know his name. I don't think he'd really care. I know I have said it before, but not since my channel has gotten to the point it has. I haven't. And my husband is in the Air Force. So, because if anybody ever really, really cared enough to, like, really hated me to really go through all of my stuff, you know, I've never given away, other than what state we live in, I've never given away any other information. So I don't want to potentially give them more ammunition to ever have the ability to dox me. Not that I think people will, but I've never, from what I know, I've not really done anything to piss someone off that much, but I don't want to run that risk. So, and my husband's coworkers and superiors know that I have this channel. So it really wouldn't do anything. But for his privacy, not to be bothered with his work and stuff like that, I would prefer not to say. You're an Air Force brat. Yeah, I am too. You know, my husband's military. My dad was also military, which I think I talk about the career he had when I talk about my oh my gosh, my adoption series. When I start going into detail about that, I'm pretty sure I say my dad was military. So once I was adopted, I was adopted into a military family. Some of my foster homes were military families growing up, because I lived in a very predominant military area. So it was very common for families to be in the military where I was from. You're an Air Force spouse as well. You just got stationed in Alaska. My husband would be super, super jealous, because he keeps trying to tell me that the next station we go to, he should be able to have, I mean, he pretty much picked where we're at now. We didn't know for sure we were going to get where he was picking, but he got to list several bases that he, like, in order from most likely to go to least likely that he wanted to go to. And where we ended up was very high on his list. So we had no idea that it would end up happening, or else I maybe would have put up more of a fight. But I really enjoy it here. It's very, very pretty. Definitely culture shock. I still deal with that almost daily. But, you know, I'm working through that. But long story short, I know I just went off on, this is how my brain works when we're not talking about just one specific topic. It just ping pongs. He wants to go to Alaska, and I'm already struggling where we're at with the cold. And I know it's like so much colder in Alaska that it kind of scares me, but I'm very much go with the flow, because my degree, I can find a job and do something that I'm going to enjoy almost anywhere. So I've always told him to just try to give me some kind of input before, you know, anything's like super set in stone and paperwork. Sometimes he does, sometimes he doesn't. I don't know if he does that on purpose or not. But I don't know if I come off easygoing on my channel or not, but I'm really kind of just like a laid back individual. Della's daughter is stationed in North Carolina. Yeah, I lived in Florida for 29 years, so coming here was already a shock. Keep your life as private before people look into your past. Yeah, I mean, I have nothing to hide. I've been pretty open about everything, but when it comes to like my husband and my family, like I don't believe I've ever said their names or anything, and that's with respect to them. If they are ever open to wanting to be on my channel, and that's a conversation I had to have with my sister-in-law when we started talking about joining up. And then I mentioned, well, why don't we do a YouTube channel? I already do one. You know, it's another avenue where we potentially could bring in revenue eventually. It would only help support the business if it gets to that point. If it doesn't, we're doing the work anyways. Why doesn't it? If we want to film it, go ahead and set up your camera, or I think she films from her phone most of the time. And if you don't want to, you don't have to, but I'll film my work and put it up there. And it was a discussion I had to have with her because she knows I have this channel, but I had to tell her, you know, like, be careful what you say. Don't ever say your last name. Don't say exactly where you live. And she's not dumb. Like, she knows that, but I felt the need to make sure to clarify. And I said, you know, the kind of stuff I talk about on my channel at times can cause people to dislike me. And I don't want to ever end up in a point where if I piss somebody off a lot and they know about that channel, that they try to affect my sister-in-law's life. If I ever piss somebody off so bad that they want to send me nasty shit, then that's fine. You can direct it at me. I'm allowing myself to be on this platform. I know that that's a potential to happen, but that doesn't mean because I piss you off, you need to go after somebody else. Give them a nickname. Jake isn't my husband's real name. I would have to think about one. The laws are completely different. No comparison with our country. You notice you keep my dogs off camera too. Do they complain? No, so my dogs don't come on camera very often because this is just a backdrop. And if my dogs were to be in here, they will likely knock that down. Not that I care if you guys see what's behind me, because literally what's behind me is another wall, and all of, aside from that box of stuff, is my husband's hobbies. So that's his 3D printer. And then my Cricut is back there, and like my table where I've set up to do my cups is all back there. But I mean, you guys, this will constantly be knocked over. They will hit my desk. They're not very well behaved is more why they're not on here, because I don't make my animals have any rules, which goes to show how laid back I am. I mean, they have general manners, but as far as like obedience, they don't have. If they want attention, they're gonna jump up in my lap, and my dogs are big dogs. I mean, Paisley's not the largest dog. She's my husky. She's probably 45 pounds. But my chocolate lab is only 2, and he literally has absolutely zero manners, and he thinks he's a lap dog. So that's more or less why my dogs aren't on camera very often. I did say at one point, like, I asked you guys if you wanted me to do like a short Instagram or a short video on my dogs, and it was like 50-50, people saying they wanted it and some like not even like saying yes or no, and I assumed probably because they could care less, which is fine. But I don't know how I would film that because their behaviors are all over the place. I've let Paisley come in on camera because I can typically manage her, and she's a husky. And if you've ever had huskies or know anything about them, they are like kind of super independent. Like, they are super high strung dogs. They are lovely dogs to own, but she is so stubborn that if she doesn't want to do something, she's not going to do it. I can work on it. If you guys really want to, I can work on it. But when I mentioned it the first time, a few weeks later is when I lost my other husky that I had, where I lost Gizmo, which is that cup that you guys see on that other channel was made for my husband. I was going to make it for myself and put the stars on it, but he said he wanted one. So I just thought of a design, and like it's still been kind of hard for us, not having Gizmo with us. He's been with us since we first got married. So it was really kind of hard to lose a second dog that we had that long. Hey, Cooley, how do you say your name? I'm glad you made it to the live. We're kind of talking about anything for people coming in. Like, this was going to be a Q&A, so if you have any questions, whether it's YouTube related or personal questions, feel free to ask. Melon, you have 2 huskies. Yeah, Coley. Okay, that makes sense. I think I was making it more difficult than I needed to. I'm glad you're here and you made one. Yeah, this Gizmo was our second loss that we've had. We lost our first dog that we ever had together. His name was Chewy because he could make the sound like Chewbacca. So we called him Chewy for short, but his actual name was intended to be Chewbacca because he would talk and make that like gurgling. I'm not even gonna try to do it, but he could do that. That's how he would talk to us. So we named him Chewy, and then he ended up living up to the other form of Chewy, and he destroyed everything as a puppy. We lost him very unexpectedly due to an intestinal blockage 3 years ago, and then back just in a few months ago, I lost Gizmo due to cancer, and we didn't know he had cancer. So both we have lost unexpectedly, which is always hard. Losing a pet is always hard, and in this, we've lost them in the sense of we're the ones who didn't want our pets to be miserable or suffer, so we made the ultimate choice for them to be euthanized. Which is even harder because that it dawns on you, like you're doing what's probably the most humane for them, but it's also hard to deal with the fact that you're the one who's making that decision. It's super hard, even though it needed to happen. I've told the story in another live, like he declined over like 3 days instantly. He was fine, and then he progressively got worse, and he was a very big dog. He was a huge husky, and he could hardly walk, and he was too big for me to be able to maneuver. I had to that last day, and it was near impossible for me to help him function. So hey, Ania, it's okay. I'm still grieving him, but I'm okay to talk about it. You guys who've been here probably some of you I know were present for that live, and you can obviously tell I can at least talk about it without getting choked up now. But there was a point in time where I really couldn't. So we're doing good though. They were 17. Gosh, that's so hard. See, for cats, I can't imagine, because cats and smaller sized dogs, they live longer. Like scientifically, they're proven to have longer life expectancies. And I couldn't imagine having a pet for 17 years and having to make that decision. When I was growing up, my mom, we had like family dogs, and some of them got into their teens, and it was so hard on so many levels. So I couldn't imagine having a pet even longer, and then having to, I mean, we all know as pet owners, like that's part of being a pet owner. It's the reality that we kind of hate to realize, but we have to be able to understand is part of being a pet owner. But that's just so hard. I'm so sorry for everybody who has experienced or had to make those kind of decisions in relation to their animals. I know it's hard, but typically last time, I have powder all over my hand. I made a mess earlier. Last time, when we had to make the choice with Chewy, because it really was so out of left field for him. It was something he ate, and we paid the money for the surgery for like the blockage to be removed. We caught it in time for it to be removed. He just didn't recover after the surgery at all. He would not progress to where he could come home. So he was in the hospital, like the pet hospital, for almost a week, I think. And he just wouldn't recover. They were doing everything they could to try and help him bounce back, and he just couldn't. Like the incision was healing and everything, but he wouldn't eat, and they didn't know what was causing it. They didn't know why he wasn't progressing, because he wasn't an old dog. He was only 5.5 at the time. So it was hard. So we waited, I think, like 6 months maybe. I can't remember the time frame. We ended up going to a pet store, which I understand, adopt, don't shop. I agree with that sentiment, but we went to a pet store and that's where we ended up getting Whiskey, was because we missed Chewy, who was a lab pit bull mix. We missed him and we played with Whiskey just to maybe help lift our spirits up because it had been some time, and we ended up falling in love with him. So we brought him home. So we have made sure to steer clear of any pet rehoming pages or any pet stores where puppies might be at, or people trying to rehome puppies, because we know ourselves and we know that because we're still upset over the loss of one dog, we may try to fill that gap with another. But aside from that, like, we recently did a move almost across the United States in a car with 3 dogs. So I'm kind of set on never having more than 2. I will probably always have 2 dogs because I'm an individual who has to work. So, and my husband obviously is military, so he's gonna work until he can retire. And I don't want a dog to be by themselves. I want them to be able to have a partner and a playmate while we're at work. So I will probably always have 2 dogs, but I highly doubt I will ever go and get a 3rd one again. So, hey Lulu, your cat's called Chewbacca. You call her Chew for short. Oh, that's super cute, Chloe. Yeah, we rent, and with what my husband does, we will continue to move, so we can't really, I wouldn't feel comfortable unless it was at a house that we were for sure going to stay in for forever to do something like that. But that's super cool for people who are able to do that for their pets that they've lost. Your parents didn't even tell you for a while. I'm so sorry, Sarah. You keep adopting senior dogs and getting your heart broken. That's for people who are able to do that. Like, really, I have the utmost respect for you, because like I said, we all know as pet owners what the potential can be. Oops. What the potential outcome can be, what choices we may end up facing. And when you're adopting older dogs, you know that coming to that could come a lot quicker. Hey, Jay. Oh, that's awesome. Pippi Longstockings. She helps reunite dogs with their families. That's great. I am one of the people who, if I see a dog running around without a collar on, or even with a collar just running around the neighborhood, I still don't know where all the dogs live here, because I am typically inside or in the backyard. So I don't know all the dogs in our neighborhood, and there's been a few times where dogs are running around. My husband and I, what was it? It's like a month ago maybe, there was a dog that was running around. He had a collar on. The only tag was a rabies tag, and it was after 5 o'clock. So there were, I think this happened before one of my live streams and I've talked about it. There were, all the vets were closed, and like I tried to call the number and it wouldn't go through anywhere because it was just a vet tag, like a rabies tag. So we ended up walking around our entire neighborhood, which is quite large, knocking on people's doors and asking people who were driving by or outside if they knew who owned the dog that we were walking around. It was a sweet little Cocker Spaniel, I think is what it was. It's what it looked like. Um, and then come to find out it was actually like a neighbor's dog, which we knew our neighbors had dogs, but we hadn't seen their dogs, just like I'm sure they haven't seen ours, because where we're at, it's not chain link fence. It's not, what is it? The wooden fences. The fences used here, like to keep your yard, are brick, like solid brick walls. So nobody can really see what dogs are ours. And I've been on the other side of that. I've had, if you have huskies, you know, they typically have a running streak in them, and they like to run out wild. And I have had that happen. Paisley and even Gizmo, it's about a yearly thing if we're not careful, or if we have family visiting, that they're likely to be let out, and then we have to chase them. And if we don't know that they have gotten out, then it's like hopefully somebody will see them. And I'm the kind of pet parent where they have collars with like our number on them. So if they want to, like if they have their collars on, that's the problem. I take their collars off and forget to put them back on them. So that's more of a me issue, that I should leave their collars on them. But I take them off to scratch their necks and stuff, and then I forget to put them back on. And then of course that's sometimes when they get out. And Paisley has historically, whenever she's gotten out, she will run into other people's houses. She like wants to be with other people, and like she's just such a people pleaser that if she hears people inside, or if somebody has their garage door open, she will run to other people. She thinks it's a game, so she won't come to me or my husband or to anybody she knows from our family, but she will definitely run to any stranger. So it's always been, Gizmo did the same thing. And Gizmo was like I said, he was a very big husky. On his hind legs, he was taller than me. I'm not very tall. I'm 5 foot, but he was taller than me. So on all fours, he was a tall husky. He had blue eyes, so people would kind of be fearful of him, even though he was super friendly. He never bit anybody except for my husband, but that was because he was breaking up a dog fight. But he never bit anybody or anything, but people would be so scared, and I'd be yelling at him, just grab him, I promise he's not gonna bite you, just grab him. Because if a stranger wouldn't grab him or Paisley and we can't get them cornered, you either have to practically tackle her, or you have to have somebody else catch her, because she's gonna wiggle her way out of any tight space she ends up finding herself in. She wiggles out of. So I was gonna say she hasn't gotten out since she's been here, but that's not true. We had company over the summer, and she got out. And we live very close to a busy road, so that makes me super, super nervous. But anyways, let's see what you guys are saying. Sorry, I get off on tangents. I'm one of those people who, like, when you start asking me questions about my dogs and stuff like that, I get sidetracked and I just continue to tell stories. Let me go up and see what I missed. Oh, I went way too far. Sorry. You would love a dog, but you used to live in a flat. Oh, I understand people who live in like apartments and things like that being worried about getting a dog. There's certain dog breeds who would be perfectly happy and fine in those kind of environments. You just have to make sure that they're being let out, that they're having their time and everything's good, right? But I understand not. A privacy fence, yeah, the privacy fences, we refer to those as the wooden fences. It's not quite that. You have an Australian Shepherd when you were 5. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Charlotte, you're only 5'1". When you have shoes on, So how tall are you without shoes then? Oh, I don't do that, Pippi Longstockings. And I understand that is super frustrating. That's one of the things that I've always kind of been worried about with my dogs because they are friendly. They're friendly to everybody. So I've always worried that if somebody were to find them before we would, that they would literally take off with them and we'd never see them again. I know that happens. So that's always been a fear of mine. I would never want somebody to do that to me, so I wouldn't be able to do that to somebody else. Hey, Dark Lily. Huskies like to just flat out run. A Rottweiler mix called Cargo. I love Rottweilers. I'm a big dog person. I prefer larger dogs. I like small dogs and I like cats, but I probably will always only own medium to large size dogs. Hi, Irish. I'm assuming that we got trolled there for a second. Or that they were just coming in to try and cause an issue. Jay's 410. Simba, he's a Maltese Shih Tzu. His Cushing's disease. Oh, I'm so sorry. Hopefully he's doing well with that. I'm sure you're caring for him to the best of your ability. Hypoallergenic dogs are like poodles in poodle mixes because they don't, there's something in how their skin is and their fur that they don't typically let off the dander that most dogs do, which is what people are allergic to. And their fur, due to it being how it is, like the tight curls, they aren't likely to shed. Schnauzers as well. Yes, Schnauzers is the other breed. Golden Doodles are said to be hypoallergenic. Yep, because they have that poodle mix in them. There's probably a few other breeds that I don't know about. Those are the two that I know are. Hey, Beauty Demon. Yorkies are shed-free also. I didn't know that. Oh gosh, that's hot. I made coffee before I got on here. And usually I put an ice cube or two in there, and I didn't. Ooh. Emily just celebrated 1 year on her podcast. Yes, I saw that she was doing a thing with that. And I wasn't able to see it though. Anyone catch her live today? No, I haven't yet. I have not yet. Does anybody have any other questions? Like whether, I know we've gotten off on a dog tangent and I'm fine to continue talking about dogs and stuff like that if you guys want. But this is labeled a Q&A, so I want to make sure I'm allowing people who maybe have questions not pertaining to what we're talking about to ask those. So if you have any questions, whether it's YouTube related or like a personal question or to want to know something about me, you can go ahead. Now's the time to ask. I'm sure I'll do these later. Like as I continue to do YouTube, I'm sure I'll do lives every once in a while where you guys can ask questions. I watched her live yesterday about the Twitter stuff. What do I consider my channel? That's a super good question. Like, I don't know what to consider my channel because like the content that most people are here for is my commentary content, but I've done makeup content. I've done my nail videos. I'm working on editing the one I did over last weekend. I've done advocacy work telling my story. I really don't know. Okay, Charlotte, I understand. You're off work and you're not working Friday. That's cool. Did I see Augie's stream? No, I know Augie had a stream yesterday, but the stream with Shannon, Creepshow Art in uni, yes, I did see that. I kind of talked about it in my super long live stream from the other day. If you did see it though. I saw that stream. I didn't watch his stream that he did last night. I know he did another stream like following up, and I'm not sure what that pertained to or what he said in that. I didn't watch that stream of Augie's, but I did see the stream that Augie hosted, where Creepshow Art Shannon was kind of debating Unirock and asking him pointed questions. I definitely have opinions about that, and I spoke about quite a few of them whenever I dissected the stream that Katie Joy did with Unirock the night prior, or 2 nights prior. Is there certain content that you want to make in particular, but your audience might not like it? No, I really, and I don't mean this to offend anybody, so don't take what I'm about to say to be offensive. I really don't care, to be quite honest. I'm going to film and upload what I want to film and upload. If people want to watch it, that's great. If people don't want to watch it, that's great too. I do cover so many different things and have so much different content that if people want to watch it, they can. I mean, that's the big difference. And I don't know if I've fully talked about it on here, but to me, that's the big difference between like people who do YouTube as like a side job or as a hobby versus people who do it for the money, because they want to continue that income, so they are going to film what they think their audience wants. That doesn't necessarily even mean that's what their audience wants, but whatever is getting them the views, they're going to continue to film. I am not on that board. I could care less. That's a lot of why for the past 2 weeks I didn't have pre-recorded content for you guys, and I apologize for it. But I was doing something else. I was in the process of working on the business with my sister and like having everything set up to tell you guys about it, and have the channel up and running, that I'm not going to put out, although my quality may not be the best and it may be kind of crap, but the content that I'm providing you guys really is like my genuine thoughts and how I feel and what I'm wanting to create. Like even with this Katie stuff, that's why I said like I don't care. I don't really care to talk about her in this stream. Like if you guys want to, if it's really what you want and you're asking me to talk about, I will in a live stream, but I'm not going, that's why I haven't made videos about the Katie stuff, because I could honestly care less, but I have followed her. So I feel it is my responsibility to continue to talk about what is going on because it's important. It's important, and it does mean a lot to us who have tried to call Katie out on this behavior previously, and she called us trolls, which she continues to do. But I mean, aside from that, like that's the only reason I've continued to talk about her and what is going on. And I'm going to defend the other creators that I think she's talking wrong against, and doing a live stream and engaging with you and allowing you guys to like provide your feedback or provide where your opinion is on this helps a healthy discussion. I understand people who are maybe better at sitting in front of a camera and getting their points across. I'm not trying to get any points across, even in any of my commentary videos. I have always, except for maybe the Micah Stauffer ones, I have always tried to talk about the drama, give my opinion, and then also provide the opposing side opinion, or ask you guys questions to invoke thinking for you to think critically about the situation, to see where you actually sit, or to see if you are being convinced by the way other people are reporting on the drama. That's really where I'm coming from on my commentary. And I'm not going to lie, it is kind of hard at times when I am so biased against Katie at this point. I still try to give her the benefit of the doubt, but as like I'm honestly, that's why I didn't film any video. I was going to film a pre-recorded video if you guys wanted about the Unirock stuff and Katie, but that was more because of my opinions on Unirock and like how his thought process is than Katie. It even in that live stream that I did with you guys a couple of nights ago, I focused a lot on what Unirock was saying and not so much what Katie was saying. Of course, I talked about what she was saying and how foolish she sounded, but I was primarily pointing out his bias, but the fact that he states he's not biased. So I wasn't even trying to focus everything on Katie. She just happens to be a part of this. So I'm fine. Like, I understand a lot of my subscribers maybe have come from that community and they want to continue to talk about it, especially since things are actively occurring and actively a shit show. And I'm not opposed to talking about it, but I'm not going to film a video about it. I find it easier for me and makes more sense for me to have the kind of commentary I want to have around situations like this, allowing you guys to give me your feedback, than me just trying to engage in the comments. Because a lot of the questions I have surrounding this are like, hey, do you guys feel the same way? Am I remembering something wrong? Things like that. So I prefer to do those kind of things, in a live stream. Other like news situations or situations where I can clearly like point out each side and I can clearly just say, this is what's going on. This is my opinion. This is what the other opinion argument may be. Where do you guys see? Like, where are you guys falling into this? That's kind of how I like to do my commentary. Hey, Mila, glad you made it. You can tell when they lose their passion. I think you can at some point. I think you can, hey Crystal, I think you can start to realize in creators when they are just creating content because they want the money, or because you can tell when their heart's not fully in it and they're just doing it because they've started to rely on the income, or they want the income. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say that at some point I hope I don't make money off of YouTube. We all do. That's why we continue to put content out. But that's not my sole purpose in getting on my channel or continuing to load videos. My purpose is to build a community that can think critically, that can have healthy debates, legitimate healthy debates. And I'm not trying to throw any shade at anybody, but we have all these other commentary channels, in my opinion, which try to push this narrative that they accept criticism. Katie Joy, there's a few others, that they accept criticism and they encourage healthy debates, but they don't, because they don't allow criticism. You see it in their live chats when they're deleting people or they're blocking people because they're providing a hard-pointed opposing opinion. They don't want to address it because that they know either their opinion is going to piss people off and they don't want to deal with that, or they don't have an opinion, or they've lied previously and they can't remember what they said. So they just rather avoid it altogether. That kind of stuff really irritates me, and that seems to be going on a lot. I could care less if people like me at the end of the day. There was a little bit, and I'm going to be filming that video today probably, about like the pressures smaller creators have when they're building their channel. There was a while where I was worried about what people thought of me. I was worried if, you know, I was going to be able to build any kind of community at all. That was a worry of mine. And I was maybe not being 100% genuine during my first few live streams because I was cautious, because I know the dangers that can come with being online. That's why I was cautious. Now I have made sure that I'm not setting myself up to be doxxed. That way, if people do start to hate me, or they hate my opinion that much, they want to try and come at me in real life, that I'm protecting myself in a way where that's not possible. I know there's internet sleuths who can probably figure stuff out if they really wanted to, but if they're going to go to that length, I'm sure at some point I will be alerted of that. And I know at times it has gotten super serious and people's lives have been put in danger. I don't think most trolls who are going to find people's addresses are really going to do anything. Most of the time, I think they just send hate mail, but I don't know. But we see, and like I said earlier in the other live stream I did, where Katie's trying to make it seem like she has all this hate, where we have like large creators like James Charles. I know it's happened to Manny MUA. It's happened to other large creators where there are tens of hundreds of fans outside of their homes. Katie hasn't dealt with that, but she wants to complain about people who give her criticism on Twitter or on her YouTube videos, or who create their own channels and point out her criticisms. And the reason I feel most people have created those channels are because she doesn't listen. They have tried to come to her personally and she just doesn't care because she doesn't think she's done anything wrong. So I'm gonna keep going. I'm kind of far in the chat. Yeah, I'm not trying to fit into any kind of niche. And, you know, that's really against everything that you will see on people saying that when you create a channel, really find your niche. I mean, yeah, if I probably held myself to one genre and continue to load on that, my channel might grow faster. But again, I don't care. I don't care if my channel grows fast. I don't care if my channel grows at all. If it does, and I am to a point where I am bringing in any kind of income, it will be going directly back into my channel. It is not going to be going to anything else, because I don't and will not ever make YouTube my full-time career. I'm saying that now, and I mean that. YouTube will never be my career. Is it something I will continue to do until I have no interest in it? Yeah, I will, but I'm not trying to do this in hopes that it becomes a career at all. I couldn't work at home. I couldn't live like online. I could not run that life. I've tried to be a stay-at-home wife before, and it lasted for like 3 months. I'm somebody who has to be working, who has to be in a job place working. Yeah, see, it seems like a lot of people are kind of over Katie. Whoops. I think I might have missed some comments. Sorry if I did. Hey, Shellbell. Belly. Yeah, her apology was not an apology. You can't believe it's all... I mean, I think at this point she's trying to like say, I'm not doing these things. I don't know if my phone has like slid down over time or if I just had a bad angle. Sorry. I just looked over and realized that you guys could, not that I care. I showed you guys what's back here earlier, but I'm sure that's gonna be bothersome to others. I don't think she's truly capable of realizing anything. I don't know. I mean, it is what it is. We're gonna all continue to keep up with it and allow these conversations to continue to happen. So I'm sure things are gonna continue to go on. Yeah. Does anybody have any other kind of questions not related to Katie or that situation? Any questions about me, what I do on YouTube, my thoughts on YouTube, things like that? Any other questions relation to any of that stuff? Yeah, she is being sued. Where did I get the backdrop? From Amazon. All of the backdrops that I have are from Amazon. I'm a social worker. I work with the community. Currently, I mean, I'm not going to say exactly what I do, but I work with the community, and right now I work very closely with the courts. You worked from home as for a call center for several years, but missed human interaction. It's not even so much. I don't know why this won't stay up all of a sudden. It's not so much for me the human interaction that I need. I think it's more for me like I'm very much a goal driven. I don't know what is going on with this. Why it's not staying. I'm very much a goal driven person where I have to be doing something productive. And I know working from home, if you're doing like stuff like that, can be productive. But for me, I have to be able to like have results that I can see. I'm trying to see if I can maybe make this stay up. So I don't know if I could ever work from home. No, Shell, it's fine. You came in late. I'm just trying to maintain keeping this a Q&A for anybody who watches the replay. That way they don't feel like I'm clickbaiting or anything like that, trying to say I'm not going to talk about Katie, and I do. I'm sure we can talk about Katie on Friday. I will probably do a daytime live on Friday. I do not have any kids. I have 2 dogs. Is YouTube time consuming? Yes, it is. I mean, and other people have talked about this before, other creators. Like, we sit down, we film, then we have to edit it, then we have to upload it. And like, I understand some creators who are making the big bucks don't edit their own videos, they have other people do it. But I'm still learning editing, so it doesn't necessarily take me a long time to always film my videos. I typically run into technical issues, so I sometimes have to refilm a video several times to get it to where I'm okay with it, and then I go in and I edit it. And as far as me editing, it's not very much right now. I'm still learning the software I have, but as I continue to get better, my editing and stuff will get better. I've tried to really just focus on like the visual aspects right now and like being able to just put out the content versus making it look super professional, because this isn't my profession. And I think most people understand that and are aware of that. I hope I answered your question. But like I said, I don't think you were here, Lulu, earlier when I talked about the second channel that I have. I spent 4 hours trying to figure out how to edit the video for the Project Junkie channel, and it ended up not being what I wanted, but I'm still going to upload the content because I told you guys I would. Is there a specific reason why I don't want YouTube to be your career? Yeah, it's just too unstable. Even if you're making a ton of money, you never know when YouTube's not going to pay you. I don't like that idea. I don't like the idea of having to force myself to sit in front of a camera to film something. If I'm not in the mood to do it, I don't think I should have to. And if you make YouTube a career, you're going to have to come to those times, especially until you are making a really healthy, decent amount of money from it. You know, you're gonna end up forcing yourself to cover topics maybe you're not interested in or you don't want to, and things like that. And I don't want to ever put myself in that position. Yeah, I agree with Della. She says YouTube rules are so iffy. Some days a lot of people will be out of work with restrictions. Exactly. I mean, that's something that the commentary community has had to go through with like YouTube putting more censorship on what they're allowing. Thank you, Jake's Baby Cakes. I don't think I need a mod. It seems everybody's being pretty respectful. You're grateful you can work from home. And I understand people who can work from home and like have that lifestyle. I don't think I could. Oops. I don't know if I missed any questions. Let me go back up. Is there a specific reason? Yeah. The second part of that, would I change my mind if my YouTube channel takes off? No, I won't. It remains anonymous. You never know who likes your videos, or even when people comment something and others like that comment, we don't know who's actually liking the other person's comment. The only thing that's not anonymous is if you leave a comment, then it's not anonymous, obviously. But any liking or disliking you do on a channel, any liking or disliking of other people's in the comments, their comment, we don't know who's liking or disliking those. You guys get the feedback if like the creator likes your comment or hearts your comment or replies to your comment. But other than that, we don't know. May I share a very beneficial YouTube channel to everyone, especially the elderly? Yeah, I don't care, Pippi Longstocking, if you have a channel recommendation for others. Did I watch the latest of the Luminosity video? I haven't, but I saw it everywhere and I plan to today. After I do this live and before my open discussion live, I'm hoping to spend some time with my husband, and then I'm hoping to catch up on some YouTube stuff so that whenever we do chat on Friday, I will have these answers for you guys. I'll be able to talk about these things. Lulu enjoys being in live chats. I think a lot of people enjoy being in live chats because it's like one-on-one conversations or like group conversations, depending on how the creator maintains how they operate their live. Oops. You've never watched that channel. Della, she just started her channel, and I think that's either her second or third video. She does parodies of Katie's live streams that she does that are famous. I don't know if I should say famous. I probably should say like infamous, because... Bye, Shell. Hope you have a good day. Dun, dun, dun. Bye, Chloe. Or Coley. Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm probably going to continue to say your name. Have I had my husband on my channel? No. I talked about that earlier. It's something he's not really interested in being a part of. Will he maybe change his mind? Because I talked to him about how a few lives ago I asked you guys if you would be interested in like kind of vlogging content, since we have to set up our whole house for Christmas. We've never had to really do that before. I asked you all if you would be interested in like us getting the items and like bringing them home and how we set them up and everything, and like setting our house up for the holidays, since we're going to have family here and we're hosting. And a lot of you guys were interested in that content. So I asked him if he'd be willing to be a part of it, and he said not really. So that doesn't mean he wouldn't do it. It's more, I don't think he wants to feel that he has to be a part of this. Because he just doesn't really care. He's never commented, so you guys don't have to look, but occasionally when I am live streaming, if he gets bored, he'll open up the chat to see what we're talking about. But I don't think he has any interest to be a part of it. Beauty Demon, it's okay. We're just kind of asking any kind of questions that you have. Yeah, I've always kind of been, I'm not like other creators where I don't want you to mention or say other channels. I'm totally comfortable with that. I'm totally comfortable with links being put in my chat. And I've kind of said when this has happened, like, it doesn't mean I'm saying that I watch them just because I'm allowing people to put stuff in the chat and like say, hey, go check this out. We're all adults here. You can be an adult to decide if you think you should subscribe to that channel based off of the content that's there or not. You know, I'm not going to say just because a link is dropped, oh, you have to subscribe to them. Unless I know and I support their channel, then I'm going to say, yeah, I'd recommend subscribing. But otherwise, I'm not going to tell you guys that. And I think you guys kind of already know that. But I know there's been misconceptions before when I've allowed people to put stuff in my chat and then they're like, oh, she's endorsing it. No, just because I'm allowing people to say stuff or to link stuff doesn't necessarily mean I am saying that their channel is great. I'm saying go check them out. I haven't checked them out, so go check them out. If you like them, subscribe. If you don't, don't. Illuminati, let me see if I can open up. I can't see the chat, guys. So give me just a second. I'm going to go try and pull her link. She's in here somewhere. I know I saw her video. You will only recommend, yeah, I'm gonna have to copy and paste from you guys her channel name because I don't remember how to pronounce it, let alone how to spell it. Here is her, that's her channel, so you can go watch her videos. Oh, yeah, I don't mind allowing, I'm surprised it let you do that, Nick and Steph. Usually it doesn't allow people who aren't a moderator to put links in the chat. Cool. That means that next time that happens, I don't have to mod somebody, because in the past I've just been allowing others, I've been putting people in a moderating position so that they can share their own links or whatever links they're wanting to share. It's nice to know that I might not have to do that anymore. Let me get back to you guys. It's never let you before. I mean, you're not a mod, so I don't know